Welcome to the chapter Let's Plant Trees. This slide presents the overview of the chapter. Learning objectives. By the end of this chapter, you will be able to explain the importance of forests, know the essential conditions for the growth of a plant, know the precautions to be followed while planting a tree, list the measures to be taken for the protection of the plant, explain the importance of counsel for green revolution, know the difference between the vegetables cultivated at our house and the vegetables purchased from the market. Let us first start with the introduction. In lower classes, we learned the importance of plants and trees around us, the difference between herbs, shrubs and trees, the different parts of the plant and their functions, the conversion of flowers into fruits and fruits into seeds, the process of germination of seed, the factors responsible for the transfer of seeds from one place to another, the uses of nurseries. Do you know, are sunlight, water and fertile soil necessary for the plant to grow? The essential conditions for growing the plants. About the counsel for green revolution. How to grow vegetables in the backyard of our houses. Let us try to answer these questions and know more about the importance of trees. First, let us study about the importance of forests. If we observe the plants and trees around us, we feel happy and excited. Forests provide us greenery on the earth. Generally, forests occupy 33% of the Earth's space, but it is decreasing day by day. At present, in our country, the total land occupied by forests is only 21%. The decrease in forest area leads to decrease in the number of birds and animals, decrease in the amount of rainfall, increase in environmental pollution, increase in temperature of the Earth's surface. If the above situation continues, then it may lead to the extinction of living organisms from the Earth. So, in order to protect our environment, we need to protect our trees and forest wealth. Plant trees wherever possible. Knowledge check. Attempt the following questions to check your understanding. Here, let us study the essential conditions for the plant to grow. Click each tab to know more. Take two potted plants, one of red color and the other of green color. Place the red-colored potted plant in dark room and the green-colored potted plant at sunlight for a week. Water these plants every day. Observe them for a week. Record the observations. After 1 week, it is observed that the green-colored potted plant placed in sunlight is healthy when compared to the red-colored potted plant placed in dark room. The length of the green-colored potted plant is increased when compared to the red-colored potted plant. The color of leaves of the red-colored potted plant has changed to dull color, whereas the leaves of the green-colored potted plant are dark green and healthy. From the activity, it is understood that plant grows healthily in fertile soil when compared to ordinary soil. Thus, from the experiment, it is understood that sunlight is necessary for the plant to grow healthily. Here, let us perform an activity to know the importance of fertile soil for the growth of a plant. Click each tab to know more. To know the importance of fertile soil for the growth of a plant. To perform this activity, the following materials are required: 2 empty pots, soil with organic manure or fertile soil, ordinary soil, water, 2 weed plants. Take 2 pots. Fill one of the pots with soil mixed with organic manure and the other with ordinary soil. Next, take 2 similar kinds of healthy plants and place them in pots. Now place these pots under sunlight and water them regularly. Observe the pots for 1 week and note down the results. After 1 week, it is observed that the plant in pot A is healthy, whereas the plant in pot B is unhealthy. The length of the plant in pot A has increased when compared to the length of the plant in pot B. From the activity, it is understood that plant grows healthily in fertile soil when compared to ordinary soil. Here, let us perform an activity to know the importance of water for the growth of a plant. Click each tab to know more. Take 2 potted plants growing in fertile soil. Water the plant in pot A regularly for a week and do not water the plant in pot B for a week. Observe the plants for 1 week and note down the results. After 1 week, it is observed that the plant to which we have poured water is healthy, pot A, and the pot which we have ignored is unhealthy, pot B. The length of the plant in pot A has increased when compared to the length of the plant in pot B. From the activity, it is understood that, along with sunlight and fertile soil, water is also equally necessary for the growth of the plant. Thus, from the above 3 experiments, we learned that sunlight, fertile soil, and water are necessary for the growth of a plant. Till now, we have learnt about the conditions necessary for the growth of a plant. Now, let us study about the places where we can grow plants. Plants are called as producers because they prepare food for themselves and also for all the living beings. Click each tab to know more. Select a suitable place before planting a tree. In school premises, always plant trees like neem and kenuga because they always look green and give us shade. In backyard of our houses, plant trees like lemon, mango, coconut, guava, banana, peepal, jasmine, neem, nandivardhanam. Plant trees like neem, banyan and derris on either side of the roads. Grow the vegetables in pots on terrace, balcony and in places where sunlight falls. Let us know the advantages of trees. Trees help us in providing cool winds and increases the humidity in the air. Trees give shade, flowers and fruits. We get wood from trees with the help of which we can cook food. Trees provide food materials to many living organisms. The important thing about trees is they provide oxygen for all the living organisms to breathe. They provide shelter to a large number of living creatures. Trees provide joy and greenery. They help in bringing rain. They provide health and wealth. Trees prevent soil erosion and floods. Make a note. Growing of big trees like mango, tamarind, banyan in pots is called bonsai trees. This is Japan's traditional art. Knowledge check. Attempt the following questions to check your understanding. Let us know the precautions that are to be followed while planting a tree. For the plants to grow healthily, plant them where sufficient sunlight falls. The distance between two plants must be 20 feet. Otherwise, both the plants become useless. If we buy a plant from a nursery, it will be covered with a polythene cover. So, first tear the cover with a blade without disturbing the mud and plant it in the soil pit. After planting a tree, press the soil with the feet in such a way that the roots do not come into contact with the air. Insert a stick into the soil to provide support to the plant. Pour only sufficient amount of water to the plant because more watering after planting the plant may lead to the death of the plant. Here, let us study about the measures that ought to be taken for protecting the plants. Construct a fence around the plant to provide protection. Insert sticks which are dipped in tar on three sides of the plant, because insects like termites do not infect a stick dipped in tar. Next, wrap a net around the sticks to protect plants from animals and pests. When the plants are infected by pests, sprinkle neem powder water on the plant. Till now, we have learnt about planting trees and the precautions and protective measures to be taken. But do you know who give us plants to plant? Let us learn about it. Usually, some people plant the locally available plants. Some people bring plants from nurseries and plant them. In the same way, people working in the Council for Green Revolution provide plants to grow in our schools. Our life is dependent on trees, so it is our duty to protect the essentials of our lives, which includes water, air and environment. The main aim of the Council for Green Revolution is to protect the environment. This organization has a target of planting 1 crore plants. Till now, it has supplied plants to 650 government schools. As a part of plantation of 1 crore plants, the Council for Green Revolution has been conducting forest motivating movement for the past 2 years. 2 lakh students have planted 10 lakh plants in one day. Students are made to take a pledge on environmental protection. Apart from the Council for Green Revolution, there are other organizations like Vande Mataram Foundation, Forest Department, Harita Haram, etc., which are putting in their best efforts. Make a note. You might have observed that most of the people migrate from villages to towns in search of jobs. Because of this, the population of cities increases, which in turn leads to increase in waste products and problems. This ultimately leads to increase in temperature along with pollution. Crores of rupees are spent only to dispose waste in Hyderabad city. In order to reduce this problem, the horticulture department officers have implemented the process of making compost from kitchen waste and use it as manure for plants. Knowledge check. Attempt the following questions to check your understanding. Here, let us know the differences between the vegetables cultivated in the backyard of our houses and the vegetables purchased from the market. Nowadays, farmers are spraying insecticides and pesticides on crops in order to obtain a good yield. In cities, some of the farmers supply sewage water for the crops. Consuming these vegetables leads to diseases like diabetes, heart attack, etc. In the olden days, these problems used to occur rarely because there used to be an open place in every house and people used it to grow necessary vegetables and leafy vegetables over there. But gradually, the joint families and big houses have turned into small families and small houses. The main reason for the construction of houses in small areas is due to increase in the land rates. So, it is impossible to cultivate vegetables in this small area. Hence, all the people are dependent on markets for vegetables and refrigeration to store them. Consuming these vegetables will not be tasty and cause diseases too. If possible, we can cultivate vegetables that are good for our health on the terrace of our house or in our house without spraying any pesticides and insecticides. These green plants on terrace reduce the temperature in the cities and also the roof of the house remains cool. Make a note. Neem tree is declared as the tree of the century by the UNO. Neem is the medicine for thousands of diseases. So, it is beneficial to plant a neem tree in the house than spending thousands of rupees on diseases. Keywords. List of keywords are shown on the screen. Summary. Let us recap the highlights of this chapter. Forests provide us greenery on the earth. At present in India, the total land occupied by forests is only 21%. To protect our environment, we need to protect our trees and forest wealth. Plant trees wherever possible. Sunlight, fertile soil and water are necessary conditions for the growth of a plant. Plants are called producers because they prepare food for themselves and also for all the living beings. For the plants to grow healthily, plant them where sufficient sunlight falls. The main aim of the Council for Green Revolution organization is to protect the environment. Consuming vegetables which are grown with sewage water and pesticides leads to diseases like diabetes, heart attack, etc. We can cultivate vegetables that are good for our health on the terrace of our house or in our house without spraying any pesticides and insecticides. This reduces diseases and also the roof of the house remains cool. Read the questions and attempt the answers on your own. You can click answer for your reference. Follow-up work. Take up the following activities. Write about the voluntary organization in your locality that is working for the environment and greenery. What are its functions? What are they doing? Visit a nearby garden, park or nursery. Record the names of the plants which you have seen. You are taking care of the plant which is planted by you. Draw the pictures of plant in your notebook from the day it was sown to the end of 30 days. Test your understanding of the chapter by taking the mock unit test. You have successfully completed the chapter Let's Plant Trees.